Apple is now the United States' most shorted stock, but major investors like Warren Buffett are still bullish. What does this mean for the stock and for you as an investor? Stay focused for the next few minutes as I take you through recent news as well as my chart analysis and price prediction. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for regular stock market updates. Apple's short interest stands at $18.44 billion at the time of making this video, which is about $1 billion more than Tesla's $17.44 billion shorts. This is correlated to Itaú BBA's analysis of why Apple can drop to $122, stating that ever since Tim Cook took over, Apple has been going down in terms of innovation and products. Despite this, Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, and the entire Wall Street is bullish on AAPL, and rightfully so. With buybacks and new product launches, Tim Cook is definitely heading the company towards the right direction. But why are people shorting the stock, and should you side with the bears or the bulls? Let's jump into the charts and find out. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 1-day chart for Apple. First, we'll analyze the 1-day chart. Then we'll move on into the 1-hour chart, and to end it off, we'll get into the 5-minute chart. So the first thing that I want to show you guys is that we are on a gap down in the pre-market, right? We were at a closing price of $152.37 over here on 15th September, but on 16th we are at $150.9, which is really and concerningly close to the $150 support. So let me get this horizontal line real quick, and $150 is a major support. If in case we break that, then I can say that Itaú BBA's analysis might turn out to be true, even though I hardly disagree with him that Apple is bearish, right? It might be bearish in the short term, and I'll explain why, but Apple is definitely a strong stock for the long term. If we look at the bigger picture, we can clearly see that this is where Itaú BBA's analyst must have thought that, hey, the stock is headed for $120. Because if you guys look closely, there's a pattern, right? We made a high over here. This was pretty much the highest that we went. After that, pullback. Where is the trend line? Wait, another pullback. Right after that, another high, which was smaller than this high at $183, and this was at $179. After that, as you guys can see, we fell, and we are currently following that pattern on the long term as well, right? So I personally believe that yes, we might break the $150 support. I hope we don't, but if we do, then I say that yeah, the next target would probably be around 120, 125, $122. But if we were to look at the bigger picture now, this is why you shouldn't worry when it comes to Apple stock. If we look at the bigger picture, we can clearly see that Apple is definitely in a bullish scenario, right? We are definitely set for bigger things in the future, but that is if we're talking about the 1 year or 2 year or 10 year time frame, right? If we're talking about the 3 month or the 2 month time frame, then definitely Apple might get down to the $122 level. So I personally would recommend that you avoid positional trading over here and use just swing trading opportunities like these, right? As you guys can see, just weekly candles giving what I'd say about 8%, 6%, 8% returns, right? Just focus on that for now. If you want to short the stock right now, I guess it might be a good time, but I personally would be looking at an accumulation zone over here below the $140 zone, because as you guys can see that even in the pre-market, we've already crossed this level over here at $151, I guess, $151.7, right? This was another important zone. And after that, as you guys can see, we've already broken this support as well, which was about $151. We're kind of standing on it, right? We've not exactly broken it, but let's see how the market turns out and if we really break the $150 level or not. Before that, let's quickly head into the 1 hour chart and analyze the stock for swing trades. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 1 hour chart for Apple, and I see somewhat of a head and shoulders pattern over here, right? Somewhat like this, I guess. So this fall was pretty much inevitable, but after this, as you guys already know, that after any head and shoulder pattern, the stock would find a support and go up. If it was a reverse head and shoulder, it would go up and then get a pullback, a pretty strong pullback as well. But in both cases, a stock as strong as Apple on the fundamentals and technicals as well as financials would probably recover from any pullback. Now, if we were to look at the past few days for 15th September, for example, right, We can clearly see that there was some buying pressure over here as well. There was no buying pressure in the midday, but we definitely got it over here during the noon. And after that, a pullback, as you guys can see, somewhat of an engulfing candle, not exactly, but the next day made an engulfing candle on the bearish scenario, right? The buyers pretty much failed to take the stock up. And after that, we can clearly see that these are the results, right? The pre-market went down. But before that, as you guys can see, it's been a constant sell-off. Ever since this hike in prices, right? Ever since the iPhone launch on 12th September, we can clearly see that we went up by a lot, and after that there was a strong pullback. At this point, I guess the bulls might be thinking that, hey, we're already at a good price, and even the swing traders or the intraday traders must have started selling, and it triggered some important level, because as you guys can see, we were already above the $160 level, and that is usually a pretty good level for intraday and swing traders, because as you guys already know, tens, hundreds, 50s, these are pretty much psychological levels. So I guess that after getting this strong pullback, we might be in for recovery, because as you guys can see that the trend did not slow down over here. If we hit the $150 support, then we might make somewhat of like this pattern, right? Which would be pretty much a sideways market, volatile yet sideways, right? Then we'll get some indecision over here. Like, please don't mind the time frames, right? I'm just giving you guys some idea for 16th September. Like, we might get some indecision on the last candle, and after that, we might get the pre-market on a gap up. But if we don't, then, well, $122 is coming. With that being said, let's get into more detail in the 5-minute chart. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 5-minute chart for Apple, and we'll be analyzing the 15th September situation closely. The market started off in a small gap up with pretty much indecision, right? After that, as you guys can see, we got somewhat of a pin bar candle, not exactly, but we went after that, right? We went up after that. Again, buyers were in pressure, right? Buyers were in control. After this candle particularly, we tested this level at $155, I guess. Right, $155.2. We tested this twice, or rather, well, a lot of times. And after that, as you guys can see, we got a pullback. This level over here acted up as well. As you guys can see, $153.67. We broke that and eventually went down. After that, there was a low over here at $151.8. After that, as you guys can see, there was some resistance at this level over here at $153, of course, right? Then we were pretty much hovering in between $153 and $152, which honestly was inevitable. After that, as you guys can see, we got into a bullish run, and then we broke out of these resistance levels, again got a pullback after hitting this level at 154.28, or rather $154.3, right? And then, as you guys already know, that we went down, got a strong pullback. After that, another accumulation zone over here. But one thing that's quite common is that we are building up to pullbacks pretty much, right? As you guys can see over here, all of this was build up and then a big strong red candle. And then over here as well, right, we got build up, and then the pre-market was pretty much a crash. So I believe for 16th September, we'll probably, get over here, get a big red candle over here, then a green candle, a few green candles, maybe hit this level at $151.8 again. Then we might go down, test this again, double top, and then go down. Once we go down, we'll probably break this support. In case we do not break this support, which is the scenario that I'm hoping for, then we'll probably get back and test this level again, right? This might take more than just 16th September, by the way, right? We might test this resistance again, and once we do, then we might be able to break it with pretty much like adequate buying pressure. If we do get bulls on the run, then we'll probably get up there. If we don't, then well, again, Itau BBA, well, you were right. So my price prediction for 16th September would probably be somewhere around this range between 151.8 and $152.3. If we are talking about the longer prediction, I would probably give the stock a buy rating with again a $170 price target for, let's say, 6 months from now. So let me mark that for you, $170. By the end of this year, I believe that Apple can easily get back to these levels of 165 or 160, 165, these levels. And that is obviously accounting for the possibility that the stock goes down for $122, because if we get into a crash, it probably won't last long. But then again, remember that this is not financial advice and it's just my own opinion, so I could be wrong. Always trade after doing your own research and consulting a financial advisor. Make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed my analysis. Be sure to hit the dislike button if you did not enjoy my analysis. Subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for more such videos, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one.